Hello my Resin Monkeys! Welcome to Chapter 3 of this Back to Basics mini-series. I do apologize for the very late upload. I had a ton of things that kept me away from producing more videos, mainly moving house and trying to get back on track with commission, as I did lose a month of work. Fortunately, everything is back on schedule, so that means more videos in shorter intervals for everyone. Today's topic is removing tabs and dry or test fitting. These are the fastest and easiest steps in the prepping stage. Tabs are those little parts of resin left from the pour channels where the resin entered the mold. You don't need them. In fact, they will always get in the way, so always remove the tabs on each kit. The tools you'll need for this is just a regular wire cutter and an X-Acto knife or a box cutter. Now, I don't recommend the box cutter that much because it's not very accurate in comparison to the X-Acto knife. You know, cause it's X-Acto. Moving on. Lastly, this is optional, but you might need a Dremel with a cutting bit accessory, which I will explain why in a moment. Ideally, when removing tabs, you tend to cut the tabs in small bits so that you won't accidentally remove a chunk of resin when doing it very fast. So please ignore the speed on these clips. When cutting tabs, be as careful as possible, especially if it's a very small and thin piece, because the chances of breaking it is really high. So take your time with these little tabs, or you will end up gluing these tiny parts later. When you've cut most of the tab, don't try and cut what's left of it with your wire cutter. This is where the X-Acto knife comes in. Always make sure to have a sharp knife or you will have a hard time cutting down the remainder of it. So just cut it and smooth it out. This also works for leftover flash from the mold. You can use a knife and cut it away. Also, you need to be really careful not to cut yourself because we are talking about a knife. There will be times when you get a kit with horribly large tabs that your wire cutter won't be able to cut. So for those situations, the Dremel is your ideal tool for removal. I actually showed this on a Force Shielder review I did a while ago, so you can find the link in the cue cards in the video. When doing this, be sure to use those safety masks I told you about in my last video. Dry fitting, also known as test fitting, is just that, checking the fitting on your kit's parts. The only thing you need to do is just connect the pieces together and verify if there are any problem areas. This could be either gaps or misalignments. Though it doesn't happen often, it's just good to note and write down if you need, so that you will know what areas you will need to putty and realign ahead of time. For example, this couch, when assembling it, you can clearly see that it has a ton of gaps everywhere. These areas you might want to mark down with a pencil so that you will know where you need to putty the next time you start doing it. This kit does have good fitting, but some parts need reshaping with putty because it's a nude kit, meaning that those connection lines will need to disappear, and to do that, the connections must be leveled and aligned. Of course, I will show you how to do this later on in my videos. It's important to know that each modeler works differently. Some people like to remove tabs and then pin, while skipping the test fitting. Others like to wash the kit and start sanding it right away. However, the order in which I'm presenting these techniques are the order in which I like to work with my kits. I've created this order because it works best for me. I need to optimize time due to all the commissions that I work with. So this reflects just that, optimization. So once the last episode of Back to Basics is aired, you will know if you want to follow my order or if you will end up creating your very own. In the meantime, please be sure to come back next week for the next episode where I will show you heat bending and pinning. If you watched all the way until the end of the video, please be sure to leave a comment. Also check out my social media sites. And if you like this video, hit that subscribe button and thumbs up. I do have a ton more videos for you, even if you don't actually plan on starting or getting into the hobby. I'm sure you will like to see how figures are painted in general. Until next time, my Resin Monkeys.